Hello and welcome everyone to our second Asia Pac Knowledge Series webinar, a series of webinars where we endeavor to share best practices and information about technological changes in the industry to help elevate the industry. I will introduce my four distinguished speakers as we present, just before their presentation, but I would like to just do some housekeeping here in terms of as each speaker is making their presentation, you should be able to, through the Q&A option on your browser, pose questions to the speaker. The speaker will speak for approximately 10 minutes, and then at the end of it, I will look at the questions and pose several to them. But as we have four speakers, we need to get through quite quickly. Any unanswered questions, we will endeavor to have answered for you and send to you via email. We have one speaker today who unfortunately has to leave immediately after her presentation, and therefore we will have to take any questions for Helen um, separately and send you the answer. So I have just lost my my document. One moment. Okay. So with that said, I would now like to introduce you to Professor Min, Chairman of Shanghai Quanray Electronics Technology Company Limited, who will present to us on advances in integrated circuit technology for RFID applications. Over to you, Professor Min.
Hello, hi, this is Hao Mian and from Shanghai Quanray Electronics. I'm very glad to have this opportunity to give an introduction of our products and the application cases. And also, thanks for the RAIN platform to give this great webinar so that people here will know each other. Quanray actually is founded about almost 20 years ago, actually starting from AutoRD Labs at Fudan University. I'm also the research director of AutoRD Labs, which is initiated by MIT. So we have this UHF RFID products starting from 2008. And the mission of our company is to connecting everything to the cloud. And we try to connect everything, even this low cost or even this equipment, which is a high value, goes through the network and put everything, have a digital twin in the cloud. So our target is to develop the chip and the connectings to the cloud. So our chip have a wide range of application, which is comes from industry, from transportation, from apparel, and anti-counterfeiting for these high-value products. So these are the major four areas of our chips being used. So I will introduce some of these cases we've already been used. So here is we have a pretty wide of the product family from UHF RFID. So we see we have products from a small memory to a pretty large memory. We have the largest user memory is 64K bits of the user memory. We also have a very special dual frequency chips, which is we have a NFC chip, NFC interface and a RFID interface. So that serves for both 2B business and 2C. So 2B we use UHF and 2C we use NFC. So here you see our really low cost chip, which is used to apparel and logistics. We have a sensitivity of about -24 dBm. And every wafer, we have 500,000 dies there, so that we can sell in a pretty low cost to serve for the apparel industry. And we also have a EPC and have a small user memory. So we are being used, this chip has been used in many places. One of the things we have used for this express delivery by JD.com. Actually, JD is almost the largest e-commerce company to selling appliance and other products. in China. So they have a trial run of the tagging their products, tagging their stuffs to the customer. So this is used starting from 2022. We use this chip to tag their appliance products. We also have a dual antenna chip, which have a little bit larger memory, have a little bit lower sensitivity, is about -21 dBm of the sensitivity, and have because it's have a 2-channel of antenna, so it's used for omnidirectional antenna. Have a flexible memory configuration, have a total about 1K bit of user memory, which can be configured to TID, EPC, and the user memory. So this is flexibly we can configure that. So this products is widely used in the warehouse management and the airline baggage tags, and for this high-end clothing, because the user memory may record or may have include information of some, not only the ID can include some more information to the tag. So this is basically for the high value of this products, so that can afford this kind of tag. So this is one case. You see that this chip is widely used in Hong Kong airport for airline luggage. We're starting from 2021. We start to provide the chip to a tech company and then to the Hong Kong airport. We also, this chip is used for supply chain management. This is for the tobacco industry in China to tag every batch of this tobacco. It's not just one box. It's one we call the one case of this of the tobacco is get tagged. Here's this chip. Here we see a very interesting chip. Is we have a dual interface chip, which we have a NFC interface and a UHF interface. So we have the chip can use two antennas. The UHF one is for the assembly line. You can see at the right, at the right bottom corner, you can see the bottles go through a convoy belt, and the information is written one by one. But for the user side, you can use the NFC phone to read the tag, to track, to get the information of the products. So you'll see, this is the screen from a phone. It read the liquor. It's used for the tag the liquor, a very famous liquor in China. And it's customer can use a phone to verify whether this is from the original company and whether this is the real one, and also can track the information of the logistics, so that really know where the wines, where this liquors come from, and how it's got sold. So. And this one is the NFC tag, which is used for library and for the automatic sewing machine. So you see this is a library application. We will see here is used for smart memory. This is a NFC tag, which is for, you see this every book is get tagged by this get tagged, so that in the library it can have automatic check-in and check-out, and also they can do this the library manager. They can use this use a kind of like a robot to scan the bookcases, so that they get the inventory and can check whether these are in the right place for the books. So this is the one of the application. And we also have a chip which we include the sensors. We have a temperature sensor, and we have a open and shut sensor, and we can even drive a LED, use the power from the IF to light a LED, so that it can flash if the tags get selected. So this tag get used for many industry applications, For example, we can sense the temperature of a power cord, and we can also detect whether a screw is in the right position. So this is the normally for this asset management, and for right now we say this is for the asset health management, because we are not only ID this asset, we can also monitor the status of this asset, whether they are in a good health. Okay, so this is a brief introduction of what we have. So normally, as a conclusion, we are a company dedicated to the RFID technology, and we have the right range of our products to meet the requirements of our customers. And we also extend the RFID not just in ID, we also extend that to a sensor and to other things which for the industry application. So here is what my presentation today. Thank you very much for your attention.
Thank you very much, Professor Min. I wonder, could you say a little bit more about the anti-tamper side of it? You covered the anti-counterfeiting part.
Okay.
How does it deal with anti-tampering?
That's right. No,
Yeah.
this one. Yeah,
Yeah.
anti-counterfeiting and anti-tamper.
Yeah.
So what it means actually for this anti-tamper means normally if we bonding a chip into antenna, right? So if the guy got a real chip and they detach the chip from the antenna and put that chip into another antenna, then this will be regarded, because the reader can read the chip and you will think this is still a good one, right? But what we do, if we have a mechanism in the chip, if you detach the chip from the antenna and attach that again to another antenna, actually the data read from the tag will change.
Okay.
So that the chip has been detached from the original antenna and attached to another antenna. So this is basically the technology.
Okay. One other question has just come up here about what do you mean by three-way authentication? Yeah, so it's just a question, what do you mean by three-way authentication?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, three-way authentication actually is a protocol used for information security, which means the reader will see whether the tag is the good one, is the one which is distributed by the authorized person. Okay. So basically, these two guys share a same key. And then what they do is the first one, they will send a random number to the, we call it challenge, to the tag. And the tag will use encryption to challenge this random number and send it back to the reader. So the reader will decrypt this information to see whether the security code, the key shared by two, whether they're same. If the same, they will get the original one, right? At the same time, the tag will also send a random number to the reader, and the reader will also encrypt it and send it back to the tag. Tag will also see whether this reader is capable or they are authorized to read and write the information of the tag. So they're both ways this get protected. So because this pass we go 3 times, the reader to tag and challenge, and the tag to reader response, and the reader to tag the final response. So this is a 3-way. So we call it 3-way authentication.
Excellent. Okay, thank you, Professor Min. I think we need to move on now to our next speaker. I'd like to introduce you to Helen, if you want to put your slides up, and Professor Min, if you want to stop sharing.
And I will stop sharing the screen.
Thank you.
Okay, great.
We have Helen Ha, who is our the Chief Marketing Officer at Urovo PTE, and who will present to us today on Urovo's best practices in RFID applications for retail and logistics. So Helen, over to you.
Okay, thanks for George's introduction. Hello everyone, this is Helen from Urovo. I'm the Marketing Director in Urovo PTE Limited. Today, I'd like to share the Urovo's best practice in RFID applications for vertical industries. So my presentation including 3 parts. First of all, I'd like to have an overview of Urovo and our RFID portfolio, and then we will go to the RFID case study of Urovo in retail stores and parcel shops. So I believe many people have ever heard of Urovo before, and I'd like to stress some key points and milestones of Urovo. We founded in 2002 in Singapore. Our chairman, Andy, used to work in FedEx Apex Center as an IT manager. And when he realized the digitalization trend of e-commerce and logistics, he came to China domestic and started the company of Urovo. And in 2008, we provide the supply chain software solution for logistics for Beijing Olympic Games in 2008. And in 2012, Urovo launched the first Android mobile computer and Android POS terminal in Apex Center. And Urovo is also a global company which has global business located in Europe and South Africa and Southeast Asia. And right now, we also start business of North America as well. And we started business, in fact, from software for the customer clearance software. And when we were asking about customer from the logistic and express, they want to find some tracker for hardware tracker for the parcels. Then Urovo started business to expand to hardware. And in 2019, we acquired Gencha, which is a very famous brand in printing industry. And we also have our own MDM software, which is called UEE, to remote control the devices such as mobile computers and POS terminals. And in 2024, we were ranked as #2 globally regarding the traditional barcode mobile computer. And regarding Urovo's ecosystem, we mainly focus on the hardware devices development and manufacture, including the printers, the handheld devices, including the mobile computer and RFID devices, and the smart Android POS, and some innovative equipments. And we also have our own software, such as we mentioned before as UEE, to remote control and manage the abundant devices in the end user side and help them to upgrade the system or the applications more conveniently, and to track the status of the locations of the devices and batteries more efficient. And we also worked with many software partners who provide vertical applications in different industries, such as retail, logistics, e-commerce, and public utilities, and warehousing as well. So in fact, Urovo is an industrial application enabler. This is our brand image we like to address. And we are also in aspect of RFID, Urovo was recognized as a Impinj Golden Partner in this year. And in fact, we have focused in RFID product portfolio development for a couple of years. And right now, we can provide the full portfolio of RFID devices, ranging from handheld RFID reader, which is we have a very famous and popular RFID devices, which is called DT50P, which is of our flagship product, and powered by Impinj E7 series. And we also have the short-range RFID handheld reader. This reader can be more convenient for the retail store to do the stock counting for short-range RFID reading. And we also have an RFID sled, which can pair with the traditional mobile computer and transform the mobile computers to long-range barcodes, to change to long-range UHF handheld reader to reading the RFID tags. And we also have the fixed RFID reader and RFID printers as well. So this is the full image of Urovo RFID portfolio. And right now, we were ranked #1 in Apex Center regarding the handheld devices shipment units, according to the VDC report, which is published in 2023, and ranked #2 globally. And we have more than 4 million units devices, which are active in Urovo's UEE cloud platform. And we have our own supply chain as well, located in Zhuhai, which is the annual production capability is more than 8 million. And right now, we'd like to introduce more about the case study of Urovo. As we all know, the RFID usually has has a lot of unique advantages, such as it's a unique ID which is cannot be changed, it's a unique ID, and it's durable and persistence, and the readability and scalability. From Urovo's RFID solutions, we can enabling end-to-end tracking and trace of products from production to sale. In the manufacturing process, we can help provide the RFID tag encoding and printing through Urovo RFID printers. And during the transportation sector, we can also help the inbound management and outbound management of the parcels and the goods as well. And in the warehouse, we can do the stock counting and RFID items locating. And in the retail stores, there are multiple usage, such as inventory management, inbound, outbound, and RFID checkout, self-checkout, which is quite popular right now in the retail stores, and anti-thief with the fixed RFID readers, and the transparency of the digitalization trend as well, and all the data can be visualized. And we can also do the good authentication as well, such as some white liquid companies as well in FX Center using Urovo's handheld device to do the authentication. And we think RFID also very good for the digital product passport, which can help the repair and recycling process more convenient. And we like to introduce the details in different scenarios. In a warehouse, as we all know, for the inbound control and outbound control, you can use the fixed RFID reader, and you can use the handheld reader as well. So Urovo FR1000 is a very powerful fixed RFID reader, which is very popular right now. We provide some solutions for the stock counting, for the inbound control, for asset management as well. It can pair with the gate together, and it can read tags more than 1,000 per second. And the handheld device DT50P can read up to 50 meters away, can do the stock counting in the warehouse as well. Many famous e-commerce customers and logistics customers that are using this kind of devices in their big warehouse to save time and save human power. In fact, many end users talk to me, especially some boss of the retail stores or apparel stores. They said they never know. In fact, they never know the exact amount of their items in their warehouse every day, because if you totally rely on humans, sometimes they make errors. They never, and the staff don't like to counting one by one, to use the traditional way or by the human, just by the human resource. But when they are powered by the RFID technology, this kind of work can be achieved more frequently, more efficient. That's the reason why RFID is changing the industry as well. And in the retail stores, Urovo can almost provide the full portfolio, especially the hardware devices for the retail stores. As you can see in the front store, we can provide the fixed RFID reader for the anti-thief as well. And we have the item locating RFID function through the handheld RFID reader DT50P. And we also developed the fixed reader for the RFID safe checkout. And in the back of the store, you can also do the stock counting through the handheld mobile computer. And you can also do the RFID tag encoding as well. There's some video I will show you later. So for the retail store, in fact, most of the customers are using some devices, but Urovo's capability is more powerful and more flexible. We can provide the long range and the short range. And in fact, not all the times you need RFID function. For example, some customers tell me they just do the stock counting per week. So, but in the daily operations, they just use the traditional mobile computer, such as Urovo's DT50. But when it's paired with our RFID sled, the RFDT50, it can change to the RFID function as well. Previously, I also talked to some India end users. They said, Helen, I'd like to transform to RFID next year. But right now, I'm looking for a solution which can be transformed in next year. So the DT50 and paired with RFID sled will be a very flexible and long-term investment as well for the retail stores. And I believe short-range RFID reader is very it's very unique right now as well, and it's powered by Impinj E3 series. It can read the RFID tags in within 3 meters. You can set the power to control the reading range of the handheld reader, and we can also change the power supply. You can, in fact, it's very easy to read the long-term barcode, long-term RFID text, but it's very hard to control the reading range of the RFID text. So we have multiple options for the retailers. And I'd like to show you some videos from Urovo for the retail stores. Yes, this is a briefly introduction of Urovo capabilities in retail stores. And there's also an innovative solution which is delivered by Urovo and our partner. It's regarding the RFID tag locating. So traditionally, most of the RFID locating have one direction, but the solution delivered by Urovo and our partner can have 2 directions, vertical and horizontal, to provide more accuracy locating of RFID items. And this is one of the user case we delivered in Apex Center for one leading apparel customers. Previously, they haven't used RFID before, and there's a complex workflow for the multiple applications, and they need all-in-one devices to do the daily operations and RFID counting, stock counting as well. And they have many SKUs to manage every day, and they don't have the integrated RFID checkout solution. So Urovo developed we deployed our handheld long-range RFID reader DT50P in the retail stores for the data acquisition and stock counting every day. And for what's interesting is after they use the RFID handheld reader, the stock counting efficiency increased more than 96 times than before. And it was highly used every day. And what's a unique usage of this user case is they also use this kind of handheld devices at the front desk to the desktop checkout, because we can change the power of the RFID handheld devices. Then it can read the RFID items very near, very close, short range. It can change to almost a short range RFID reader. It can read the several and few closes on the front desk, so they can complete the self-checkout through the RFID handheld reader. So this is one of the interesting applications they are using right now. We'd like to share with you. And we also have many multiple options. Our fixed RFID reader FR2000 can also place as a fixed RFID RFID checkout, which is more comprehensive and more complete solution, as we showed in the video. So in a quick summary, RFID really benefit the retail stores a lot, which is increased 96 times than ever than the traditional mobile operations, and decreased 10% labor costs. It decreased 10% of lower product loss rate, and more than 95% accuracy, and 35% faster checkout. And this is a solution for retail. And then I'd like to show some interesting innovation solutions for the parcel shops. So as you know, in Epicenter, there are many parcel shops which is managed by personnel. And in the parcel shop, they are very small, and there are thousands of pieces of parcel shop. For the management and for the manager or the operator of the parcel shops, they face a lot of challenges, such as their lack of the labor, and the labor cost is very expensive, but the human power is limited. So there's always conflict about the efficiency and the cost. And also they are always facing many complaints from the customers when they pick up the right parcels in the parcel shops. And so they are facing many difficulties. And from the pickup or personnel's perspective, we need to wait for a long time. For example, when we back to the home, we will pick up the parcels in the parcel shop, but there are multiple users waiting for their parcels. You need to wait one by one, and it takes time. Some people sometimes don't like to wait for a long time. So this is a challenge in the parcel shops. And we'd like to introduce a community solution and an innovative solution for the parcel shop, which is already applied in many parcel shops.
Today I'm going to introduce Urovo's audio-visual tag solution. This solution reduces labor costs and help customers. First, we just scan the barcode. Today I'm going to introduce Urovo's audio-visual tag solution. This solution is going to and now you should highlight the audio-visual text right over here. You can see it's reusable. And now we will take the parcels. Different colors of visual text.
Yes, so the video is very clear to see how it was convenient for the parcel shops to pick up the parcels in a very short time. And even in sometimes you don't need to hire people in the parcel shop. It can also support no human parcel shop. So in these parcel shops, there are many couple of steps. First, you need to bond the package of the RFID tags together to make sure the RFID tag can identify the parcels. And then they can support different kinds of pickup. You can input your mobile phone numbers in the tablets, and then it will, there is a software connected with the RFID tags. It can identify the right tags. It will shining and sounding as well. You can quickly pick up the parcels as well. And it support single user pickup and multiple user pickup as well. It supports almost 7 colors as well. This compact design is very easy to use and very easy to deploy. There's no system. The RFID tags, there's no system. They need to connect to the router, and there's a software application backside, and the lightning and the sounding will make things easier to quickly locate the parcels in the parcel shops and maximize the space and shelf utilization and efficiency, and of course boost the efficiency of low labor costs. And from not only in the parcel shops but also the warehouse. In fact, this is also a available solution for the warehouse. There's a attended applied scenario. You can boost your warehouse operations to quicker locate the items in the warehouse and streamline the picking process. And you can also complete the quick stock counting. So then at the end, we'd like to have a quick summary of the benefits and the future outlook. So the benefits, as we all know, RFID can provide the real-time supply chain visibility, error-free automation, and enhance the customer's experience, and also environment friendly and integrated. Sometimes we can also integrate the RFID together with IoT and AI solutions. We have also developed similar solutions for some coffee shops as well to share with you next time. And you can drive in countless and sustainability in retail stores and logistics in the vertical industries. And we can also expand in applications in emerging industries. And there are some flagship products of Urovo. This is a fixed reader I mentioned before. This FR1000, which is very suitable for the warehouse and for the inbound, outbound management, powered by Impinj E7 series and support PoE power supply, and has 8 antennas. It can have a wider reader range of the warehouse. And the Urovo DT50P, which is quite popular in the retail and logistic industries, outstanding performance and accuracy as well. And not only RFID, Urovo can provide the full portfolio ranging from mobile computer RFID and printers. Our full capability is related in the auto ID industry. And that's all. Thanks for your time. And this is my contact information. You can email me or contact me through WhatsApp and the linking as well.
Thank you, Helen. We have one compliment, no questions, but one compliment. It says, great rain, RFID item location application. Well done, Urovo. So congratulations there. I know you have to rush away to another meeting, so we'll move on. Thank you for your presentation.
Thank you.
So our next speaker then is Shreyans Bingani, Director at Ecart Technology, and he is going to present to us on driving innovation in railways through RFID. Over to you, Shreyans. You're on mute still.
Yes. Hello. Hi, George. Thank you for the introduction. Are you able to see my screen?
Yes.
Perfect. So good afternoon, good morning, good evening, everyone, depending on wherever you are. I am Shreyans Bingani. I'm a director at Ecart Technology. And today I'm going to take you through a key project that we've done with the Indian Railways, which has really helped and transformed the wagon tracking and coach tracking for the Indian Railways. Just a quick company introduction before I jump ahead. Ecart Technology is a leading provider of automation and identification solutions. We're headquartered in India. The company was incorporated in 1995. We started with cards and hence the name Ecart, which is just taken from the French word for cards, carte. But then we've rapidly kept up with the changing technology stack, and now we're a leading provider of RFID and RAIN RFID in particular solutions as well. We also have manufacturing capabilities and an upcoming state-of-the-art electronic manufacturing facility in a state ID park is coming up in Goa, which should be ready by the end of next year, probably. We also have launched the first ever made in India smart card printer in a technology partnership with a Korean firm. In terms of our value proposition, we're still, I know I mentioned a lot about manufacturing, but we're still at core a solutions company. So our solutions are highly secured. They are intelligent and accurate within the automation and identification industry. And if we are not intelligent and accurate, then it'll be very challenging. Then it's not a good fit anyway. Our designs are very modular, so you can start small and then rapidly roll out a proven solution. And we can integrate with almost all existing ERPs, CRM, any other existing software that the user might want to. Having said all of this, the two core features that we really pay utmost preference or priority to is cost effectiveness and customer satisfaction, because our vision is that customers derive happiness as well as save on costs through our solutions. So we have 4 broad verticals: RFID solutions, security and surveillance, card personalization, and e-governance. I'll be focusing on RFID itself today. Please feel free to reach out to me if you're interested in any of our other solutions. Within RFID itself, we have a whole plethora of solutions, and I would want to also want you to just focus for a bit on the image in the center, which is to signify that even though I'm talking about an RFID or a RAIN RFID solution today, we're technology agnostic. We also have delivered hybrid solutions, which involve more than one technology related to UHF RFID or RAIN RFID, NFC, BLE, GPS, RTLS. So we're more than comfortable using a combination of technologies. Now, today I'll be focusing primarily on the wagon tracking project, which was a key innovation for the Indian Railways for managing and for the management and upkeep of the rolling stock. So a brief on the Indian Railways. The Indian Railways is the 4th largest railway system in the world, and it is also I think it was at one point, I'm not 100% about today, but it was the biggest employer in the world as well. Now with Amazon, etc., it might have bumped down a few places, but in terms of state employment, it was by far, and it is still by far the biggest employer. So a lot of people are working. And the primary reason for this was that automation wasn't really incumbent and a lot of manpower was needed. So the Indian Railway runs across 128,000 kilometers of track. There are around 20,000 trains that run every day. And there is a total rolling stock of 3.5 lakh or 350,000 freight wagons, 80,000 passenger coaches, and 13,200 locomotives. Right? So that's a huge number in terms of wagons or rolling stock, if you look at it. The challenge was that to maintain and upkeep such a massive quantity of rolling stock, you need to identify them properly. So if in any case, if any coach or wagon comes in for repair, for preventive maintenance, for post disaster maintenance, it needs to be identified, and then a track or a record needs to be kept of what work was done, when was it last verified, etc. And unbelievably, all of this was being done through a manual mechanism where this was being painted on the wagon. And you'll see a picture coming up on the next slide, but this was literally through a paint job done on the body, which was not at all a good idea. It was the only option available, of course, until automation had arrived. But even after automation came in, they were slightly slow to move out. So at every maintenance point, this identity is then read by a human being, which is extremely prone to errors. It's slow, it's inefficient, and it's also not feasible sometimes because the part where you've painted the number might also get damaged, right? And in that case, you have no way of identifying the wagon itself. So if you've painted it on a particular part and that gets damaged due to some reason, then you have no identification for it. So that really demanded the need for a machine readable identification system that could also identify rolling stock on the run. And this is an example, right? So you can see that the numbers of the wagons and the coaches are painted, and then you can see some smaller markings which are also done by hand. If you focus on this bottom image, it says 5x6. Even when it was last maintained, was also painted on the wagon. So upkeep was also done through physical painting jobs. The requirement in terms of a machine readable system was that it should be automated and machine readable, so we remove human error. The other big challenge was that the Indian Railways spans across almost the entire Indian peninsula, right? And it also sort of extends into neighboring countries. And not a lot of these have good network coverage. So typically, if you do a cloud solution or an online solution, you would need some sort of network. And even mobile coverage is extremely poor on a good chunk of this railway network, because it passes through extremely remote areas where with no inhabitation for hundreds of kilometers. So we needed a high memory storage as well, right? You needed high memory storage so that data could be encoded within the tag itself, and we weren't relying on software or data fetching to get ancillary items that were needed. We needed a rugged tag design. You can see a picture below. That is a true picture, and it's just to depict that the wagons and coaches of the Indian Railways go through a lot of turmoil in terms of external factors, right? You put a tag, it stops in the middle of a network, and then people start using it as a stepper to get onto the train, right? Anything can happen. We're a very nuanced country in that source. But it had to be batteryless. We couldn't rely on battery technology, because then that would really be difficult to find out where the wagon was when the battery died out, and where all it has traveled. And you needed the ability to read and rewrite a lot many times, because you were focusing on an offline solution. So the transformation happened through the Indian Railways assigning 2 units of its own, COFMO and CRIS, to ensure the proper tagging of railway wagons. The chosen technology was UHF RAIN RFID, because it met all of the criteria, and it also provided great read range. In terms of eCartis, we were the pioneer for implementing this solution, because we were the one that got the flagship contract for the supply and fitment of the RFID tags. We got the flagship contract for the supply of the RFID wearable readers, as well as the development of the RFID middleware to be integrated with the CRIS software. So the 3 main components are all visible here. The RFID tag, and of course, I'll go a little more in detail about all of these. This is a very rugged tag to meet the requirements. As mentioned before, we have chosen a chip which has 3000 bits of user memory, so that we can store as much data as possible. The tag is made of engineered polymer, and it is riveted onto the wagon. The wearable reader is designed in such a way so that the service engineer or the service manager's hands are both kept free, so they're not really trying to scan with one hand and work with the other hand. And that's why the wearable reader has been chosen, with enough sufficient battery optimization so that it can last for long, because in the workshops and depots, you don't get access to chargers near the wagon. That's not possible at all. And then the software itself, which ties this entire piece together. So the tag, I've already mentioned about it. The original variant was IP66. The one that is being supplied now is IP67. It is extremely durable. The chip that is used is NXP UCO DNA. It is made of engineered plastic. We adhere to the Indian bandwidth for the UHF frequency. It can, it can sustain all kinds of harsh weather, high impact, other challenges. It is riveted, and I'll show you a video later on, which shows you that it is extremely difficult for anyone to even remove the tag, even if they had the intention to do it. Now, one key point to be noted here is that both each wagon was fit with 2 digitally equal tags, or digital twins, literally, so that the person who was scanning it, and even for wayside scanning, we weren't really dependent on all the tags being on one side, right? In case the readers went on the other side, or the train moved around, then it'll be a huge reading problem. So that's why 2 tags with the same encoding were placed on either side of each wagon. The handle reader, I've already given you a brief, but this is again custom design. This was not existent. We talked to the railway authorities. We've done some customization in terms of the chip, the reading range available, because you don't want a really good high reading range as well, where you might read a tag from the neighboring wagon. So the read range has also been optimized. The mean time before failures was thoroughly tested. We tested the drop resistance. There's encryption available. Even though read range says up to 6 meters, for this particular project, the read range was optimized to stay within 2 meters and not read beyond that. And it's also extremely lightweight because the person has to be wearing it all the time. So it can't be really heavy, otherwise their hands will start to pain. And then the reader software. So this was the original version of the software. Some snapshots are presented here. Not a lot of more could be provided due to confidentiality reasons. However, now the final software is being provided by Chris itself, and we've actually provided the RFID core middleware to integrate with the final end user software of Chris, which is being used by the users. So I'll just like to play this video, and you can see that these tags are, there's a drilling machine that creates the hole for the rivets, and then the tag is placed on those holes. Just move forward a little bit. And then we hammer it a little. So all of this activity was actually done by our team, including the slight hammering. And now they will just use a riveting tool to completely seal it onto the wagon. So you can see there's the rived on machine, which is then riveted on. And then there's a laser engraving on top of the tag as well. If you see that RF02, that is to identify the vendor code. RF02 is eCartex's vendor code, which and thereby you can easily identify who has provided that particular tag. So the results, more than 200,000 coaches and wagons have already been tagged. The work for the remaining 300,000 coaches is already in progress. We have deployed 1,185 wearable readers so that there is a reading machine available or a scanning machine available at each and every depot, workshop, point of contact within the Indian Railways. I've already mentioned about the software first being provided by eCartes, and now it's being integrated into the Chris software. And there's also trial of RFID tags, scanning of RFID tags at high speed has also been conducted. And just a quick thought on the future rollout. There is a project already in, or a proposal already in plan to deploy 500 plus fixed readers across the Indian Railway network, so that even wayside tracking while the train is in motion can be done. And this is really exciting. We are, of course, involved in testing and planning for that. There's also a pilot going on, or POC going on, for solar-powered GPS devices to get more accurate location, real-time location for these trains and coaches and wagons, as well as also monitor other elements like vibration, temperature, etc., which cannot be done by the current rain tags. And the final one is the integration or the use of these devices into the Kavach safety system, which has recently just been launched by our Honorable Prime Minister Narendra Modi ji, and is really being sought after aggressively. It is being followed up aggressively, and we are already in talks with the various departments to use these same tags to provide data and feedback to the Kavach system as well for the safety of the trains. That's it for from me today. Thank you. My mobile number is present here. If you reach out to that email ID, it will eventually come to me in case it's anything related to the Rain Alliance. You can also visit our website and look at our other solutions.
Thanks very much, Shreyans. I'm going to go ahead to the next speaker because we're a little bit caught tight for time here. So thank you for that presentation. Our last speaker today is Dr. Yan Li, Director of RFID Technology at Xindeco. And his presentation is entitled Retail of Small Goods Introduces New Challenges for RFID. Dr. Li, over to you. Thank you.
Okay, let's start. And hi, everyone. Let's start from why we select such a market, retail of small goods. We think retail of small goods has a very broad category. Let's think about the convenience store and the grocery stores scattered throughout the neighborhoods. And we also can think about the stores in mall, selling trendy toys, stationery, jewelry, cosmetics, daily goods, snacks, or electronics. And we also can think about gift shops, food stores, and bookstores at the airport and train stations, and the souvenir shops at tourist spots. The list goes on. These are all around us in daily life. We think they are all retail of small goods. And in the past, we thought that the RIN UHF RFID market started with the apparel. It then expanded into high-value items like jewelry and cosmetics, and items with secret safety requirements like medical consumables and pharmaceuticals, and the perishable goods like fresh food. And the generally small goods retail market was regarded as the ultimate goal for RFID development. This is because small goods retail involves low-priced items and a wide variety of products, and the use of RFID can be quite challenging, full of technical obstacles. Okay, that's the page. Okay, the first challenge is the small nature of the goods. The small items can be as tiny as a pen, an eraser, a card, a lipstick, or a pair of earrings. Traditional RFID tags used for clothing have a tunnel size like 50 by 30 millimeter or 70 by 14 millimeter, which are too large for these small products. To meet this challenge, we first need to design small-sized RFID tag that still keep well performance. Our solution is the Versa Mini tag, which has a standard size of 13.5 by 15 millimeter, and can be even shrunk to 33 by 13 millimeter for special needs. In this slide, you can find the standard stationary tags, the liquid tags on bottles, hand tags on pens, and flag tags used on metal packages. All of this needed to the small to match the product's appearance. One significant advantage of the Versa Mini tag is its versatility. It can function as a standard tag, a liquid tag, a flag tag for metal packaging, or a hand tag for jewelry. The alternate design uses what we call the cutting performance maintaining concept, allowing part of the antenna to be adjusted to meet different size requirements for flag tag or jewelry hand tags. Now, let's take a look at the next slide. For whom worked in the RFID industry, this might make your skin crawl. The tags are densely packed and overlap each other, which drastically reduce the read range. We don't like, but this kind of scenario is very common in small good retail applications. To solve this challenge, we must address the problem of dense tag reads. When inventory in stores with RFID handheld devices, we need to ensure that all tags are read without any missing. When we designed the Versa Mini tag, we have especially enhanced the recognition features in dense environment. This ensures that at a reasonable handheld device operating distance, we can even read all the densely packed tags. As shown in this slide, we can see even at 50 centimeters distance, if we use the RFID handheld device, it can successfully read all the overlapped small RFID tags. The VersaMini tag, it's powered by the Impinj M800 series of RFID chip, delivers very exceptional performance with high reception sensitivity and a broad tuning frequency range. And this chip also ensures satisfied performance in various retail settings. It works stably on long metallic packaging, such as plastic, wood, glass, and even the product contains liquids. The test on this page shows the maximum continuous reading distance of VersaMini tags on different goods. When the object to be pasted is plastic, glass, wood, or contains liquid, the maximum recognition distance ranges from 1.5 to 4 meters. This is what we call it's a relatively smooth changing range. It makes it easier for some key RFID applications like such as the checkout and anti-theft systems. Okay, next let's look at the self-checkout machine in stores. As shown in the slide, multiple goods are mixed together in the checkout basket. In this scenario, even flag tag or hand tag can be very close to or even be covered by other items. When designing such kind of tags, we must consider such scenario where the tags are placed close to or surrounded by various materials, or even very close to metal. The VersaMini tag was designed in this way. It achieves over 99% accuracy in group reading during actual checkout operations. Finally, let's take a look at the anti-theft system. In clothing stores using RFID, traditional standing anti-theft systems are gradually being replaced by ceiling mounted anti-theft system, just for the very easy reason of good looking, just good looking. The current ceiling mounted RFID anti-theft system use the phased area antennas. And it has solved the issue of false alarms and has achieved good recognition rates for unauthorized access. The technology behind it relies on the phased area antenna. The antenna being able to detect tags from multiple directions, and it uses the tag's response and amplitude of phase to determine its motion. But for our small RFID tags used in the retail of small goods, as we know, the recognition distance is much shorter than the clothing tags, which doesn't provide enough data for motion recognition algorithm. So we have to change. To solve this, we developed a ground-buried RFID anti-theft system. Since the antenna is buried on the ground, so it's closer to the tags. Theoretically, this system can effectively detect tags multiple times as they pass through the anti-theft line. And we have already overcome some accompanying difficulties, such as the impact of floor tiers on RFID tags, on RFID antennas, and the quick installation on site, and how to maintain it of the buried equipment. Now this underground system integrates beautifully with the store design. We can show in this PPT, creating a seamless look. So we can have a conclusion. In conclusion, the many technical challenges faced by small goods retail stores using RFID technology have been effectively addressed. Several retail brands of small goods are already using the Ring RFID systems in their inventory, checkout, anti-theft, and other key operations to continuously create value for themselves and for their customers. So as the famous saying goes, the future is already here. It's just not evenly distributed yet. Okay. According to the Ring Alliance, in 2023, global shipments of Ring RFID tags reached 44.8 billion chips, marking 32% year-over-year growth, which exceed expectations. If we're looking ahead, the shipment growth rate of UHF RFID tags is expected to stay above 20% annually, and by 2028, shipments will cross the trillion mark. So we think for the retail of small goods, if every item had an RFID tag, it's clear there's a huge market potential. We believe this market could be a key driving force for RFID exceeding the trillion mark. And we are Xindeco IoT, and we focus on RFID tag manufacturing for 19 years. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Dr. Lee. We're just a little bit over time. I wanted to thank everybody, first of all, for their excellent presentations and give people the last moment to ask any questions here. And while I'm waiting to see if any questions come in, I wanted to let you know that we do have one more webinar this year. It will be a year in review of the RAIN Alliance by Aileen Smith, which will take place in December the 18th at 10 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. So watch out for that particular webinar. It should be interesting to see and catch up on what the RAIN Alliance has achieved during the course of this year. In addition, something that's near and dear to my heart as the head of training, we have our last course of the year, which takes place actually at Label Expo China in Shenzhen, South China, I should say, in Shenzhen on December the 5th. That is our encoding masterclass, which is a very relevant class to help the industry avoid tag clutter and tag acid rain and various other fancy terminologies, but basically the problems caused by incorrect encoding of tags. That course is actually unusually free to enter, courtesy of our sponsors who have made that possible. That's TSC in China and TSC Printronix in China, and also Arizon. They've both sponsored this to enable us provide that course to you for free. There are some seats left if you are interested in that. I don't see any other questions coming in, so I think that we can sign off for the day. And again, thank you to our speakers. Thank you also to Elizabeth, who is up at 3 o'clock in the morning for us in the US to organize this event. Okay, thank you.